Oh, now what? Hey, thanks for dropping by. Can't Let Her Die DIY. I'm just moving my whippersnipper here, getting this thing ready for the spring. You know, this never runs out of gas. I love it. It's all ready to go. If you found this video, you found this channel, you must have a Chevy Colorado, a GMC Canyon, or a Hummer. That's what this is. It's a 2005 Chevy Colorado. It's 16 years old, has a 3.5 liter in it, Vortec engine, 5-cylinder. Can't let this die, no way. We love this truck. This thing's great. And there's nothing wrong with it right now. There's nothing that needs to be worked on. But one of the reasons why it has lasted 16 years at 415,000 kilometers is that there's a defective part in the engine. I wanted to talk to you about it. You may want to substitute this out before it breaks down on you and causes internal engine damage. It's the camshaft position solenoid. It's not good if you have the ones with the screens on them. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Throw in your old clothes. I'll throw on my old clothes. Meet you back here in 5 minutes. We'll pop that hood. We'll get in there and I'll show you what this solenoid that needs to be swapped out. Okay, let's pop the hood, take a look and find that solenoid. The camshaft position actuator solenoid. So if we pop this up, get this up in here, come on in. Come on in close. This is not a hard job. Fortunately, it is located at the top of the engine, right here. It has one plug right there, that plugs into it. It's a 2-prong plug, it plugs in, and it has one bolt holding it in place so it doesn't shake out, right down in there. Can you see that? Right where the pointer is, right there. That is a 10mm bolt that holds that in, and this thing slides out. Now the good news is, on the Colorado and the Canyon, and I'm not sure about the Hummer, but I believe so, that you can pull this right out without removing this power steering pump. It's not in the way. You have enough clearance. But if you have the Chevy Trailblazer or the GMC Envoy, you're going to have to remove this as well. But we don't have it, and we're going to remove this. I've done this before, and I don't really need to do it, but I do want to check on it, see how it is, how it has progressed over 100,000 kilometers. Okay, I got my 3/8 ratcheting drive there in a 10mm socket, and we're going to attack that 10mm bolt down there that's holding that solenoid in place. Okay, you can get at it, attack it from the top. You should be able to get at it. Let's see how much fight. A little bit of fight there. Not bad at all. And then it goes finger loose right away. That's nice. This time is a good time to unplug this. So it's the same old plug that we keep seeing here. You got to slide that gray part up, snap that out of the locking position, so now it's no longer locked. You squeeze that together, and that should come right off. Squeeze that together right there, that tab. This gray part locks that tab in, so you cannot squeeze that tab. So you pull that gray part up, then you can get your thumb on that tab, push in on it. See that going up? Push in on it, and then you pull that right out. It's just 2-wire. It's a 2-wire plug. So that's easy. And let's continue. Get this thing off. Save that, you're going to need it. Now this thing should come right out. A little rotating. It has an O-ring in there holding it on, so it's a tight fit, but just rotate it, work it a little bit, and there, boom. It's coming out. And there it is. Let me introduce you to your camshaft position actuator solenoid. And there it is. This is the better one. It's a engineered fix, and I'll talk to you about that. This looks great. Look how clean it is. No gunk, very clean. Do the oil. Okay, I've relocated you to my workbench now where I have both solenoids on the bench here. This is the original. This is the new replacement, the one I just removed from the engine. You just seen it. This is the original. It's the original camshaft position actuator solenoid. It's also called variable valve timing solenoid. Some people are calling it variable valve oil control valve, but Chevy calls it the camshaft position actuator solenoid. So that's what we're using. We're using that name. That just clears up a few things in case you're confused. So this is the old one. It came out at 300,000 kilometers, and you can see, look, it's missing a screen. That screen was floating around in my oil, and that could cause all kinds of problems. So that's the defective part. The screens have a tendency to come off. Now there's other people, they're missing all 3 screens. Some people are missing 2 screens. So there should be a screen there, and there is one there, and there is one there. And the screens do get plugged up too if your oil is not dirty. And then this can't function properly because it's not getting a good circulation of oil through those holes. Now this, Chevy has engineered a fix. These have screens on them as well, 3 screens, and they have a spring, a wire spring that goes around. You see the 2 wires? That's a spring that holds that screen on. So Chevy knows about this. This is their engineered fix for this problem. And so it is very important to, if you have this type of solenoid in your engine, to get it out, because these screens are going to fail. They're going to come off like mine did, and it could cause a lot of problems internally into your engine. And if you do find a missing screen, you should change the oil right away. Change the oil filter. It could get chewed up. It could that screen could be anywheres, but you want to get it out of the oil. So there you go, folks. That is it. This is the bad solenoid. This is the good engineered solenoid, and it looks great. So this right here, defective solenoid with the missing screens, this puppy is destined for the dump. Gone. Now, I'm putting this puppy back in because we love this. This is beautiful. It's worth its weight in gold. So I cleaned it up. It does have an O-ring, a rubber O-ring, so I do like to put a little bit of oil on that O-ring, get a better seal, just like that. And now it should go right back in, just the way we found it. Okay. In between the wires here, it's got to be straight. Manipulate it through the wires. That when you get it in there, it's a tight fit, but it will go in smooth and easily, sort of like that. Rotate it so this arm will line up with that bolt hole right there, and position that in like that, and it snaps in place like that. Right? Now we can put this plug on. Goes back on the way we found it. Snap. Hear that snap? And then I believe it goes down right there. Did you keep the bolt? I hope so, because you'll need it. So it gets tight there. And then you don't want to over tighten this. So just snug it up. I would say right there, that's snug. Leave it the same way you found it. And that is a fully installed camshaft position actuator solenoid. It goes in there, and that's excellent. And that's all there is to it. Yeah. And guess what? We are done just like that. That video was too easy. This job is too easy. You know what? It's an easy job. It's a quick video, and I hope you appreciate that. So some of you guys want snap, quick videos, like you're always in a rush. Other guys, ladies want long, detailed, put everything in there, have some fun along the way. So this kind of caters to those quick guys, and that's okay. But you know what? It's a short video, but it's probably my most important one because I'm pretty confident that changing this solenoid out before it blows up and loses screens, it causes countless other problems in your engine. If you can replace that beforehand, a little preventative maintenance, your engine will outlive you, hopefully. So that's the good news. We want this engine to live a long time. You'll get 415,000 and counting, like me. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I did. I'm kind of worried about your Chevy Colorado and your Canyon. So, you know, get that defective solenoid out of there and get the good one in.